Shalom. I want to give a praise on and glory to Yahweh Shema Shai. Bashim Rakakadash double understood out an apostle of great millstone and always truth. And be blessed and citations to the whole for that. No, I need some water, man. Anyway. There we go. $90 coins. Yes. But yeah, I just wanted to show you a few videos. This one first.
Was raped by female IDF soldiers with a zucchini placed up his rectum, and the zucchini was soaked in pork blood. Let me give example of some of the war crimes. I have taken specific testimony from doctors, nurses, and operating room techs, all of which were abducted from the operating room while they were operating on another human being and taken to Israeli prisons and tortured. One nurse was actually shot in the knee because he refused to abandon a patient while he was still operating on the patient. And then he himself, the nurse, was taken to an Israeli prison where he was tortured, not given any medical care against the Geneva Convention, which Israel was a signatory to in 1950. This person was given one juice box a day, sometimes every other day. He had been set free after 45 days of being blindfolded, was driven after he lost 45 pounds of his body weight, driven to the Israeli border in Khan Yunis, dropped at the border with his open wound, draining maggots behind him, who infected his wound. A rifle butt was shoved into his right eye, exploding it. And so he crawled to safety for 2 kilometers until somebody picked him up, blinded in his right eye, and his right knee still infected after an Israeli bullet went through it, completely untreated. And he fell into a coma where we found him with bed sores on the back of his ears and the back of his head. He subsequently, as a nurse, had his leg amputated in Egypt after multiple attempts by myself to operate on him to try to save his leg, all of which failed. I have surgeons who were abducted out of the operating room, taken prisoner, all because Israeli soldiers, and he was a prisoner in Israel, all because they claimed that he knew where Hamas soldiers were hiding in the basement of the hospital. And there wasn't even a basement to this hospital. The hospital administrator gave me a tour of it. Only 3-foot high crawl space.
See that? They're always lying. Man. Look at the time. 4:44. Literally 4:44. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. But yeah, like I was saying, do nothing but lie, man. While they lied so they can do their wickedness. What's the scripture again? She lies, no. Micah 2:1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity, so on top of sin, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Yeah, like the Lord said, man, he's giving the power to the wicked to rule this earth. But as Psalm 73 says, man, yeah, Psalm 73 and 5 makes mention of them being not in trouble as other men. But this isn't, they covet fields and take them via violence, in which they've done that. They've literally done that. And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, being the saints, being the prophets. If not, where and who is he? And again, going into I think this was during the Renaissance, when they were changing the images. Here we go. It says here, man. First Maccabees 3:48. It says, and laid open the book of the law, being the Bible, wherein the heathen and laid and laid and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. So yeah, they literally changed what the people look like. And even then, if you go into the churches, man, you got little baby angels, white, with wings. And even then, they're attracted to babies anyway. Nasty people, man. And then you also got the Adam, him looking a completely different color, which is supposed to be dark skinned, first off. And then you got the other prophets. You see, their image is changed as well. Literally. Let's search up Ezra. So apparently he's the high priest. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So now they're trying to say that it's Middle Eastern. Okay, don't want to lie about that too. Bruh. Let's have a look at Ezekiel. Crazy. And if you really do want to see the actual pictures of the prophets, you just type in this. These are the prophets, man. Look how much it costs. Just to own the picture, man. See even yeah. Like I said, man, they're dark skinned people, man. More lies. No, there's a real one right here. But he's paying 5K for that. Not 5K, I mean 500. 500 euro, yo, man. 500 euros in it. We can go into the book and find out what color they are. You know what? Let me do. Yeah, let me do that, man. And this is why they say, oh, they were white. They were white. No, there was not. No, there was not. The Nazarites is meaning that what's it called? They were holy men, holy people. It says the Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy. If you look at that word ruddy, it goes into being brown skinned. Or you could say like brown with red tints, especially around the cheeks, letting you know they were healthy. It says in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. It says their visage and visage going into their appearance, man. So it says visage, it says face, countenance, portrait, face, appearance. So yeah, this was their appearance. It says their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. And yes, these were dark skinned people. But even then, they're going through famine. And that's what happens when you're dark skinned. You go, you turn more dark. Especially when you don't eat. Oh, I want us to spell it. Yeah, even the Songs of Solomon as well, man. Songs of Solomon 1 and 5, it says, I am black, but comely. And essentially you hear that from the so-called black people, I mean the Negroes. They say I'm black and beautiful. And comely means beautiful, man. Comely. Yeah, I spell it. So it says it's decent, suitable, proper to the time, place of circumstances or persons. It says handsome, fair, graceful, pleasing in appearance. So yes, King Solomon was a handsome man, if you want to say that. Yes, I am black, but calmly. O ye doors of Jerusalem, being the Israelites, as the tents of Kedar. If you know what the tents of Kedar are, you know how dark they are. As the curtains of Solomon. So yeah, man. Now let's carry on.
Where the air conditioning and electrical and the sewage pipes were running. No room for them to even stand up in these tunnels. And this doctor was taken prisoner for 11 months. And he was beat every time he asked to speak to his lawyer. He was beaten 3 times harder if he got to speak to his lawyer. He got his lawyer by whispering into his ear to get his family evacuated to Egypt. He remained in prison, beaten every day. Every one of his fingertips were broken by pliers and crushed. I saw x-rays of his hands. All of his fingertips still had every single one had a broken bone in it that didn't heal. When he still wouldn't tell them where Hamas was because he couldn't, because he never saw anybody that he could identify as Hamas, and nor could I when I was at the hospital. He then was raped by female IDF soldiers with a zucchini placed up his rectum, and the zucchini was soaked in pork blood. And then they showed him, when he still couldn't tell them where Hamas was, they showed him a spy picture of his wife and said that was time dated and geolocated out of his house, right by his house, and said, we will abduct her and bring her here and rape her in front of you. And then they showed him the same moment a drone photograph of his children's bedroom window, and they said they will send a missile through his, or a drone rather, through his kid's bedroom window and incinerate them. The amount of mental torture is far worse than the physical torture that this surgeon went through. An accomplished.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, to be honest.
Sir Keir Starmer has called a Reform MP racist after she claimed that there were too many black and Asian people in television adverts. Labour says that Sarah Pochin...
Just shows you that their kingdom's fallen. Their kingdom's fallen.
...should be suspended by the party. She has apologised for the comments. Well, our North of England reporter Amy Welch is in Miss Pochin's constituency in Runcorn this evening. Amy, the MP coming in for some pretty sustained criticism, isn't she?
That's right. Sarah Pochin is facing some serious criticism this evening, even from within her own party, over the apparently racist language she used to describe TV adverts during a phone-in that she took part in at the weekend. Well, her exact words were, "It drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people." And she went on to say, your average white person is not represented anymore. Well, she has since apologised unreservedly for any offence caused, going on to say that the remarks were phrased poorly, but she stands by her point that she believes adverts are unrepresentative of British society. Well, the Prime Minister has branded these comments racist. Both Labour and the Lib Dems are calling for Reform UK to suspend her. And here's what Nigel Farage had to say on the matter.
I am unhappy with what she has done. I understand the basic point, but the way she put it, the way she worded it, was wrong and was ugly. And if I thought that the intention behind it was racist, then I would have taken a lot more action than I have to date.
So he's unhappy, but he is not unhappy enough to sack her. Well, Reform UK have repeatedly maintained their stance that they are not a racist party. However, Nigel Farage's unwillingness to take action over this has prompted the Prime Minister to criticise his leadership. Sarah Pochin won her seat here by just 6 votes in the May by-election, but it seems for now at least Reform UK are very much standing by her.
Yeah, I wanted to show you this as well. This is a chariot, and those little circles that you see are also chariots.
It drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people. The member also said it doesn't reflect our society. Madam Deputy Speaker, as the
It's crazy because wasn't it the so-called black people and Asian people the ones who built this place? Absolutely insane. That's what I love doing. Instead of bringing people over.
Yeah, Kyle. His tablet. Yeah.
for Brent East, one of the most diverse constituencies in the UK. You can be black and brown and be British. So I'm completely offended by that comment. It is a racist comment, Madam Deputy Speaker. And can you imagine the constituents of that MP going to see her knowing that she's a racist? Madam Deputy Speaker, these comments appear to be in breach of MP's Code of Conduct. In particular, the 7 principles of public life.
Order. Can the Honourable Lady please reflect on her language and withdraw the remark about another Honourable Member in this place?
Madam Deputy Speaker, that comment is absolutely a racist comment. And if we cannot call that comment out in this House, that is in breach of the Nolan principles for MPs. And I want to know, Madam Deputy Speaker, if you can help me in ensuring that order.
What? For clarity's sake, it's the calling of a member of this House a racist.
Sarah Bojan is a racist. What are you talking about?
Speaker, to say that, let me just quote again what the member for Runcorn and Helsby said. It drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people and full of Asian people. It doesn't reflect society. Madam Deputy Speaker, that is a racist comment.
Exactly.
It's not the comment that the Honourable Member is referring to. It's the fact that you call the member a racist that is the issue. If you can please reflect on your remarks calling a member of this House a racist and stick to the comment being a racist. It may be that she considers that that is dancing on the pin of the head, but it's important.
See what I mean? You should be lying. They always be lying, man.
Important that we all act with respect and set an example to the country. Given me
What? Hold up a second. You are telling me that the Speaker of the House is constantly interrupting and censoring Don Butler in order to protect the character of racist MP Sarah Poching in the name of respectability politics? This is bullshit. Talk about wanting to set an example for the country. You're not setting an example for the country. You are protecting a racist, and you're teaching the country that this is what the system ought to do. This is how you protect racists in every elite class in this country. When you can't call people out as racist for committing racism, what the hell is the point of the House of Commons? The House of Commons that's meant to be our house, the house of the people, with our representatives to speak in our voice. This is bullshit. This interruption of Don Butler is deliberate. It's not accidental. And this Speaker of the House is the one that should be called ordered on, because this is nonsense. What?
Deja vu. I appreciate that in this house that we are not supposed to be disrespectful and call members of parliament
It's not
MPs
disrespectful.
what they actually are.
Yes.
Ultimately, the comment is a racist comment.
Yeah.
It's quite strange that I'm unable to call out the member for being a racist, having made a racist comment.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Please.
No, I call order on you, Madam Speaker.
It drives me mad.
Is Satan be divided against Satan? No. And it says Matthew 12 and 26. And it says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he's divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And again, it won't. You know, let me go into what did I say? No, I might just get the modded version instead. Oh, what's it called? Oh, where is it, man? No, you see what I mean? Just saying comes from the Hebrew word sa'an, meaning adversary, an accuser, or opposer. I'm sure there's no one Diabolos. Essentially, this is the word used when you look at Satan, meaning the people that come in the likeness of Satan. So it says diabolos comes from the Greek verb diabolin, to slander, literally meaning to throw across or to throw through. So someone who's an accuser and a slanderer, or as it says, devil in many. Mark 12. And 26. Yes, Satanas. That's it, man. Satanas, you know. See what I mean? So that's what it means. Someone who's an accuser or a slanderer. You call them Satan. So that's what Satan means over here in Matthew 12 and 26. So if the accuser casts out the other accuser, how can their kingdom stand? The scripture says, 2 Thessalonians 2 and see, even here, man, there's a people on this earth who are like the spiritual demon Satan, being the wicked. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, it says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, being the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So yeah, when Yahushua officially comes back, then they're gonna be destroyed. They're gonna be burned up with that fire, man. Them laser beams. And it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So the very things that they do is lies, man. They always be lying. But yeah, I hope this was edifying. I'm gonna give up praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Hawashai, Bashem Makakadash, and Shalom.